All right, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Party Chat Podcast. My name is Leah Austin, and I'm so happy that you came back to episode 3. I really do appreciate it. Second week in a row that I'm late. I don't have an excuse this time. I'm not gonna lie, but I set it up, the tripod's up, the camera's on. I have Green Room in the background. Have you ever seen Green Room? Green Room is good. It's a good one. A24. It's an A24 movie, and A24 hits it out the park. I want to say probably at least 90% of the time. A24 is an amazing movie production company. But anyway, Green Room. Green Room. If you haven't seen Green Room, if you haven't seen Green Room, and hey, it's Halloween. Halloween's coming up. Halloween's next week. This is a good one. All right. If you can handle the gore, I'll watch it. But if you're really into like the old slasher films, like Halloween, Nightmare on Elm Street, Jason, all that other shit, you'll like Green Room. It's kind of like a modern take on that. It's like a slasher movie. It's kind of the same thing. Like you have a group of teenagers in an unfamiliar place, and then it all goes wrong, right? Instead of like having one guy that's going around slashing everybody, it's about this group of teenagers that are all in the band, and they go into this really rural area, and full of full of skinheads, and they're all white. They're all white, but I forgot. I haven't seen the movie in a long time, but the skinheads want to kill him, and shit goes left immediately. I want to say 20 minutes into the movie, shit goes left. Maybe not even 20. I want to say 15 minutes into the movie, shit goes left. You'll see that watching the background. If you're watching me more than the background, you see that. But before we get started, let's go ahead and get this party started. You know what I mean? Oh, listen. I don't do this all the time. You know what I'm saying? 3 episodes in, it's my first time busting the rip. That's all I'm gonna take for right now. Still got, at least 60 minutes left in this bitch, so I still have to keep the conversation, got to still keep it going. But little hit just to get the body moving, start feeling good. Besides that, dudes, life's been good for me. I don't know about you guys. Life's been pretty good. Been working at the internship a lot more. I wouldn't say a lot more because I'm working the same hours I typically do. But I've been getting more involved with it. Yesterday, I turned in my first 2 projects to them. After this, I get done shooting this podcast. I have to make some edits to the videos I turned in because the client, he wanted something different. He wanted some shots fixed, some shots removed. I'm gonna go ahead and do that for him because I'm a good Samaritan like that. But but I think last episode I kind of touched on the fact that working this internship has I don't know, it kind of has changed me. And the more I work on it, the more I realize, the more I see the change in myself. Like today I came in, I was like, let's go sit down, relax a little bit, turn on some TV, watch some Netflix, put on some My Hero Academia. We're gonna talk about that later in the podcast. Turn on some My Hero Academia, and relax for an hour, then turn it on. As soon as I got in the house, I'm like, why even fuck around? Why even fuck around? Let's just go ahead and get it started. Let's just fucking set the tripod up, get the microphone on the camera, get the selfie shit up, selfie light up. Let's make it happen. And I'm really proud of that. And I feel like the fact that I've been surrounding myself with people who are just getting after it all the time. And I don't want to be left behind. So and that shit really rubs off on you, right? I got into it last time that the people that you keep around you, they're a reflection of you. And that shit our parents always told us. I know that shit my mom always told us. Well, not us and me, I'm the only child for her. Something that she always told me. And I never really thought about it. I always felt like the way I was is just me. And I feel like that's the way a lot of people think. Like a lot of people, I feel like think that you're so in control of you. Like you're so in control of you. You're the way you are because that's what you want to do. But you don't even realize that you really are the people you surround yourself with. The energy that other people have and you have really rub off on each other. Like, and here's the hypocrisy about people. People are so up their own ass that they'll be like, yeah, I'm rubbing off on this person. Like, I'm spreading all these good vibes, all this good energy. Like, right? They'll put themselves in the center of the amphitheater and feel like they're just giving off waves of good vibes and waves of positive energy and good future, but yet nothing can affect them. Nothing can affect them. No matter how negative people they're around them, no matter how negative people they surround themselves with are, no matter um, no matter how much shit goes down with people who they surround themselves with, they believe that, it's not them. It's not them. Like, it's me. This is what I want to be doing. And, I'm starting to really realize, man, that, I need to surround myself with better people. I listen to Charlamagne the God a lot. If you don't know who Charlamagne the God is, he's like a hip hop commentator. He's on a radio station called 106 and the Breakfast Club. I think I just called it the Breakfast Club. I don't know why I had to say the radio number. Like, I'm fucking, like, that's extra to me. But he's on the Breakfast Club. I'm sure a lot of people know about him. I'm sure you guys know about him, at least most of you. And he just said some shit I thought was funny as fuck. And he said, I don't talk to niggas after 3 p.m. I don't talk to niggas after 3 p.m. And I just thought it was a funny shit to say. Like, I never really thought too hard about it. And, obviously, like, when he says that, I don't think he means, like, black people. But he means, niggas. Like, niggas as in just, like, what I'm saying? I have white friends in Chicago that I would definitely say are some niggas. Definitely would say they some niggas. Right? And, of course, I'll talk to them anytime they want to call me, text me, I got you. And, like, say homies for life, you know what I'm saying? But what he's trying to say is that, after, you have to limit yourself from negative energy. You have to limit yourself from negative energy. Because if you don't, shit will start rubbing on you. And that's something I'm really thinking about, man. I feel like I've always led to great friends. Friends I have are always people who I feel like were achieving something in life, no matter how big or how small. They had a goal and they were achieving it. People who I feel like I can learn something from. But I haven't necessarily been surrounding myself with people who I feel like are doing what I want to be doing. And that's something I'm doing now with the internship. Like, shout out to Melissa. She's the person who got me into the internship. Shout out to her. You know what I'm saying? Watching her and how much she works and how hard she goes makes me want to go harder, man. Like, because we used to be, so I met her in school. And me and her were taking a script writing class together. Obviously, if you know me, I love writing scripts. I love movies, and we just kept writing class together. And me and her were like, we were on the same level. I was making short films. She was helping some guy make documentaries. Like, we were on the same level. But life happened, things happened for me. Man, I plateaued extremely hard. And then I look over to her and I see what she's doing, and she's doing some big things, man. She's doing some big things. Man, I feel like, there's no reason for me to be, to be so far behind. Not saying that, she isn't talented. She is very talented. She makes some great videos, some great edits. I go on her Instagram, I'm like amazed by what I see her do. But, I should be on her level. When we met, it was an even playing field. But then she rose on me because of the work that she put in, and, and whatever excuse I make, whatever excuse, can I stop saying, I think it's some high shit. Whatever excuse I make, whether it's, me dealing with my family or me dealing with my mental health or whatever it may be, at the end of the day, I just didn't put in the work. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure she had things going on too, and she was still putting in the work. It's all a numbers game. It's all a fucking numbers game. Like, really, all this shit is just numbers. Like, let me think of something. I'm trying to think of an example, but at the end of the day, it's just, you can be the most talented person. You can be the most talented person. But if you don't have the numbers behind your talent, the hours behind your talent, the hours of practice, you know what I'm saying, how many gigs you did, how many clients you had worked for, all that is a numbers game. And I don't mean like you can go to someone else and be like, I have worked for 500 clients, I work for 3 big businesses. Like, no. I mean in terms of that you can just go and be like, you can look at your Instagram, I can see 1,000 photos. 1,000 well-crafted photos. You know what I mean? I can go on YouTube and see that you were on YouTube for 5 years making videos 4 times a week. for 5 years. Numbers. Because eventually you're going to get better. That's what people, even you don't understand. Eventually you are going to get better. Just not today. Just not today. You know what I'm saying? If you're starting today, if you started yesterday and did something, you started yesterday and you're picking up it again today, you might be where you were at yesterday, or just slightly better. You might be. But at the end of the week, you're going to be somewhere else. At the end of the month, you're going to be somewhere else. You already know what I'm going for. You already know what I'm saying. Like, we just have to, I feel like we have to put the numbers behind things we like. We need to stop jumping to different things. I feel like me, I would work on, the podcast, and I'll go work on, like, the script, and you know what I mean? Like, and I do that all now. Like, I'll work on the podcast, I'll work on the script, and I edit the video, but then I'll work on the podcast, like, solely. I would just solely work on the podcast for, like, 2 weeks. And then I will solely do the script for 2 weeks instead of just having focus. And, now I'm kind of just, I have my focus on all of them, right? I'm dividing out days when I work on one. I divide out hours when I work on another thing. Like, I bring focus into it because I want those numbers. I want to get better. Like, I feel like shit. I'm not going to lie. I feel like shit that, I'm late on the podcast. Because I feel like if I could have planned last week better, I kind of could have made it. Last week was kind of crazy. I had a lot of shit I had to do. But I feel like if I would have planned out a little better, I could have got the podcast out early. We've been on episode 4 right now, the podcast, right? Or are we on episode 5? I think we're on episode 4. I think last episode was episode 3. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see when I post this. I'm not editing this shit out either. But, it is what it is. You gotta get your numbers in. I feel like we understand that when it comes to things like, working out. But all this stuff is just repetition. You know what I mean? Day after day working on it. But, man, it's something that we all gotta improve on. And I think as I get older, I'm really just putting that to mind. You know what I mean? My issue is that I'm impatient and that I want to see results today. I want to receive results now, and that's not realistic. You know what I mean? So I'm taking it day by day, man. I'm trying to, I can see the difference between this podcast and my first podcast. I can see the difference between this podcast and my second podcast when I had to turn it off because I just could not get the words to come out. Even now, I'm kind of struggling to get the words to come out, but that's probably because I'm hot. That's probably because, I had a little hit, but but it's still flowing. Then I was kind of just staring at the camera, didn't know what to say. I would turn it off, turn it back on. Like today, the intro that I just did was my first one. That has never happened. I used to have multiple intros and be trying it and turning it off and trying it and turning it off. I'm like, oh, that didn't feel right. This is my first one. My first go. This is my first go, and I'm pretty proud of that. So, and we only 3-4 episodes in, 4 or 5 episodes in, whatever it may be. I'm seeing the progression. Man. Speaking of progression, you have to look no further than my man Tyler Perry, right? Stay with me. Now, Tyler Perry, for me growing up, I'm not gonna lie, was kind of a joke. Like, a lot of people love this movie. So, like, I'm gonna say, like, the Diary of a Mad Black Woman. You know what I'm saying? Classic. Medea's Family Reunion, classic. Come on, shout out Keke Palmer. You know what I'm saying? She was fresh off Aquila and the Bee, and she came with the boom boom 1-2 punch with the Family Reunion. She was hot. But besides that, this ain't about Keke Palmer. But he did those movies and he came out with a few other stuff like For Colored Girls and stuff like that. But eventually I feel like in a lot of ways he did become a joke because he had a style and a style that was so easy to replicate, that didn't have the best quality in terms of how it was filmed or directed. He had a lot of pitfalls in terms of that he would go into the same cliches. He had his own cliches that he would constantly do, and that ended up becoming a joke. And of course, how many Madea movies does he fucking have? Like, how many Madea movies do you really need for the character that has no character development? And I know you guys don't care about character development, but why is the point of having so many fucking movies of Madea. Like, who is that? Madea go to prison? Like, what? Like, and there's more movies after that, obviously, Madea go to prison. There are obviously more movies past that, right? But that's the first time I realized that this Madea shit is going too far. I think I stopped at Madea go to prison. Like, as in, I didn't even watch it. I think the last Madea movie I watched was maybe Family Reunion, and maybe Prison came out like 2 years afterwards. Maybe I stopped before Prison, but I think Prison's when I first realized I'm gonna need to break on this. I'm gonna need to break on this. There's just no reason to have that many movies. That nigga making movies like fucking. His titles starting to look like fucking scary movie titles. You know what I'm saying? Madea goes to the fucking Weed Man 8. You know what I'm saying? It's just fucking crazy. Like, what's the point? Madea gets the fucking breast reductions 12. Like, that shit is, it just don't make any sense. It just doesn't make any sense. But, with that being said, he was in news recently because he has the biggest studio in America. The biggest film studio in America, owned by him. Owned by him, and that's crazy. That's crazy. You know, but he's been working. He's been working on his craft. Tyler Perry, who before Madea became a play, was living in his car. Now owns the biggest studio in Hollywood. It's not like, and it's not like he brought it for someone else and he now owns it. It's something that he built himself and worked on. You know what I'm saying? Those are the numbers. And of course, it's more than numbers. He's talented. Like, I'm sure he's talented. But, you can just tell by how many Madea movies he has that man writes, that man works, that he goes hard, okay? And, those movies, I don't know how many drafts they go through, but I'm sure they have drafts. So, like, imagine how much he writes and how much he grinds. And he makes movies besides the Madea movies, you know what I mean? I'm not sure how much writing credit he gets on TV shows that he comes out, like TV shows he comes out with. But he has those TV shows too, and other. You know what I'm saying? He's just. In terms of the hustle, I don't know. There's a man in Hollywood working harder than Tyler Perry. Now we think about. Let's get to the real shit, man. Let's get to the real shit. Is there someone working harder than Tyler Perry in Hollywood? Right? Remember when they said he was Samuel L. Jackson? I guess. Like, Samuel Jackson is a legend. Don't get me wrong. Like, he's a legend. Like, come on, motherfucker. Like, English nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you don't know that reference, me doing this probably was really just, he probably just was going. I'm sorry if you don't know the reference. That was really sudden. I don't want to attack you like that. But if you do know the reference, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to you. But Samuel Jackson is a legend, man. Samuel Jackson is a legend, but just because he gets on set and nigga acts a lot and do a lot of cameos, I won't call him the hardest working man in Hollywood. Man, Tyler Perry producing, writing, directing, getting in a fucking dress, putting a titty suit on. He doing anything he needs to do to collect the bag. He doing anything he needs to do to collect the bag. What the fuck has Samuel L. Jackson done to collect the bag? Put on a fucking Jerry curl wig? Putting on a Jerry curl wig in the 90s? Yes, that was risky. Yes, I'll applaud that. That was risky indeed, but put on the titty sack, man. Put on the titty sack and we'll talk. Alright? But Tyler Perry put on that titty sack at least 86 times. At least 86 times. Most likely more than that because he does plays and shit. So let's say about 2,846 times. 2,846 times that nigga has strapped on the titty suit. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he has some like scars around his chest from all the times he wore the suit. But even going from him and having the largest studio in America, even surpassed that, right? Because that's not even the most recent news, right? That's not even the most recent news. If you're, into film news like I am, you probably be like, that's old news, Lloyd. I've been heard about that. I've probably like 2018, 2019, right? And that's fine. I agree with you. New news. This news also not that new. I'll be honest, not that new. But new news. Tyler Perry's now a billionaire. Yeah. What's the beat? Billion. Big B's, bitch. Big B's. Alright? Think about that. 20, 30 years ago, he was in his car and he's now a billionaire off the titty suit. Off the titty suit. You got no choice but to respect it. You have no choice but to respect it. And that's why repetition is important. That's why you have to go after the things you want and go after it hard and go after it every single day and every fiber of your being. That's why you must. That's why I must. You know what I'm saying? I always say I don't want to get into preachy mode, but I'm not really trying to preach at you guys. I'm talking to myself. Well, I was even talking to myself, It's only me in the room right now. I'm just sticking to the camera. But I just be talking to myself, man. You know what I mean? But this helps you out. And then if I'm talking to you too. You just gotta get the numbers in. It's really just numbers. Don't quit. Don't do something else. Don't let your attention wander unless it's truly something that you feel like you want that is more superior than the thing you're currently doing. Like if you feel like you truly want the other thing, okay. You know what I mean? Don't hold yourself back. But if you can look deep in yourself and you realize you're just switching off to something because you feel like this isn't working as fast as you want it to do, then I have bad news for you. You're never gonna launch anything. You're never gonna be successful in anything you do outside of probably what you do and do at work. Because you're always gonna jump. You're always gonna stop when shit is not going the way you want to. Because that's what I do. I realize when things don't go, I give shit a solid 2-3 months. If it's not where I want it to be at or where I project it to be at, I feel like I'm not really, I'll give up. I'll give up or I'll come back to it. And how do you finish things like that? And if you do finish, fucking when? You know what I mean? When do you finish it? Man, I just thought that was crazy, man. Tyler Perry's a billionaire. And, and shouts out to him, man. He's been working. He's an inspiration to me. And I feel like I didn't see it when I was younger. And maybe because I don't know what I wanted to do when I was younger. You know what I'm saying? If I knew I wanted to direct and make movies when I was younger, I feel like I would have saw Tyler Perry as like, damn, like another black man doing another black man that's, like, yeah, he getting in a titty suit like Martin Lawrence, but, he's, at least he's writing his roles in the titty suit. You know what I'm saying? At least he's directing the titty suits. Right? He's not doing nothing he don't want to do. You know what I mean? but on a for real note, like, Tyler Perry, he's someone who made his way into Hollywood, made his own thing, has his own IP. He started from the bottom, and he made it happen with nothing but a pen and paper and eventually a camera. I was thinking to myself the other day too, man. I don't have any more excuses. I don't have any more excuses why I'm not working on this shit every day. I work my internship now, and the internship, they gave me a lot of gear. I'm shooting on the GH5 right now. Shooting on the GH5. We'll see how this goes. I want to see how the audio sounds. I have my mic in, but I'm sure it's gonna sound good. I want to see how the video sounds. And one thing I'm most excited for is that it has no recording limit. The Canon has a 30-minute recording limit. So after 30 minutes, I have to take it off and start it again. Restart the conversation. But this one should go for what they say is 120 minutes on full battery. So we're about to see. But even if it's not 120 minutes on full battery, I can tell you right now, it's definitely past 30 minutes. It might not be definitely past 30 minutes, but I think it's past 30 minutes. And that's probably the biggest thing that's helpful to me. So I have that. But I didn't have a tripod before. It's on a tripod I borrowed from them. They gave me a way better PC to help them edit on, but of course I can add my own stuff on it, so editing is a lot faster, it's a lot quicker, it's a lot smoother. I just got a little Jollibee Gorilla Pod grip for my phone so I can set up shots on my phone, because I don't always want to go out and vlog with my big DSLR, because sometimes it's not always appropriate. Like if I'm going to I'm going to the mall and I want to vlog, or I'm going somewhere more tight in person, I want to have this big ass fucking Canon with a fucking big ass lens. I use the Sigma 1835 because that's the way I want my shit to look, no matter what. If I have my DSLR with me, if I'm gonna do it big. But now I can have a little mobile tripod to set up my shots. So, and I was thinking to myself last night, like, I have no excuse. Like at this point, if I don't do it, it's because I'm just a pussy. Because I'm a bitch. Because I'm lazy. If I don't do it, those are the only fucking reasons. Because I have no more excuses. What else do I need to start? There's a lot of people on YouTube that has way less. That had way less before I even got the fucking internship. Now I really have no fucking excuse. So this is me telling y'all, bro. Like, unless something happened in my life and shit, and you not see me posting more, you not see me working more, you don't see me working harder, I'm just fucking lazy. If I don't make it, I don't fucking deserve to make it to be what I want to be. And that's just period. That's just period. But moving on though. But let's go ahead. Let's vibe. Let's vibe. We're not done yet. Listen, I know you guys probably think I have a problem. But I just really like you guys, you know what I mean? I'm really comfortable around you guys. So what if I smoke some weed? So what if I share a nice glass of pink Moscato with you? What's wrong with that? You know what I mean? We're just two crazy kids. And this whole apartment to ourselves. Oh, anyways. I wanted to talk about anime. I feel like we don't talk about anime on this show unless I'm telling you how much I fucking just cannot get into anime like I used to. I think I went over that. But yeah, man, anime. I started really getting into fucking what's that shit called? I can never think of the name every time I want to. My Hero Academia. Every time I think of My Hero Academia, cause I know it's set in a high school. Going to school, like most fucking animes. I'm gonna get into that at some point. Every time I think of My Hero Academia, my first thought is on high school. So every time I think about telling someone about the show, or like right now, I want to tell you about my opinion about the show. My mind first thing goes to is Online Host Club. And I'm like, that's not it. What's the fucking name? It's just like I have to pause, cause I have to get that thought out of my head and search the archives like SpongeBob when looking for his name, and they forgot the name, so I can fucking find a name for My Hero Academia. But man, I'm liking My Hero Academia so much. I'm realizing a lot of shit about myself. Like, I'm realizing that. See, I thought I was just getting old. Like, I thought I was just like maybe like TV doesn't hit me like it used to. Maybe film just doesn't hit me like it used to. Like, I get home, I never know what to watch. Started watching reality TV shows. I watching fucking Hell's Kitchen. I'm fucking living like a 30-year-old fucking man. No excitement with my TV shows, right? Nothing that really fucking just grabs me, and some of that's my fault. Some of that is my fault for the fact that hold on. The fucking shit is doing something, and I'm not sure what it's doing. I'm not sure what that means. I don't know. The GH probably doing something, and hopefully we'll be alright. But yeah, it made me realize that a lot of these shows out here just fucking weak. A lot of these shows out here just fucking weak. Like, really. Like, I went home yesterday and I'm like, what am I gonna watch? No, I'm not gonna watch that Chef. Like, I have to watch that with Brianna, and she's gonna want to watch that with me. Like, what else am I gonna watch? Like, I could watch Lucifer, and no, let's put that on real quick. I don't want to watch that. And I'm like, Order Host Club. My Hero Academia. I was like, My Hero Academia. Let's watch that. Like, excited to watch, excited to just, to get it going, man. Excited. And I put My Hero Academia on, and I watched it for 3 episodes. That might not seem a lot to y'all. That's a lot to me. Especially for me, there's a lot of shit to do. I came in yesterday from work. I came in at like 7, and I had to set up the bottom of my bed broke. Like the support had to build a new one, put it in the bed. I had to fucking wash the bathroom before my girlfriend gets mad at me because it's my turn for a minute. I haven't done it, so she told me I need to get it done today. So I'm like, I need to get it done today, and I had editing work to do, so I had a lot of shit to work on. And it's rare that TV show makes you sit down for fucking an hour and a half and watch it. It's rare. And that has to go for fucking, that show has some great writing, man. You have to give it to the underdog story, man. It's something about the underdog story that's so fucking consistent. It's something that just, I don't know what it is. I think maybe it's just human nature, but we love a good fucking underdog story, man. A good underdog story is nothing like it. Like, how the fuck you have a nigga in a superhero show that has no powers, bruh? He don't got no powers. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's crazy. Like, and I just feel like, you really understand him as a character, what he's going for. You understand what other people are going for, and the stakes, they feel real. The characters feel real. The decisions they make feel real. And it's something about the main character's selfishness, selflessness, right? That's what it's called, selflessness. That he's just always willing to give for others, but he's still willing to throw them bitches. Like, he's still willing to throw hands. Like, yes, I'm gonna support you. I want you to do well in this battle against me, but I'm gonna throw them bitches. And man, I love that shit. I watched an episode yesterday when it's him and he's fighting, I think his name's Todoroki. I'm gonna explain this in a way that everyone can understand that's watching it. So, let's see if I can be successful. I want to explain it in a way that everyone can understand, that's concise, and that I'm not over-explaining everything for people who have seen it. So let's see what we can do. So the main character, I can't think of his name right now, and it's like I said, I want to be concise, so I'm just gonna go for it. The main character, he has no powers, and he got a power from another character, right? His power that he can go super, his power that he's okay. It's not gonna work if I can't speak. Let me slow it down. Take some of this. Maybe even top it up with a little bit of this. Alright, now we're off to the races. Alright, so, main character. Still haven't thought of his name. Green hair boy, we can call him that. He was born with no powers and all he wants is to be a hero. He gets his power from another hero, and now he's in a tournament in episode 1. Episode 1, he's in a one-on-one battle with another hero. His name was Todoroki, and he had the power of fire, had the power of ice. Now he only uses ice power because his father is all fire powered, and he abused him as a child and abused his wife, which is obviously Todoroki's mother. So he refuses to use the fire power. So you have this guy, green-haired guy, main character, protagonist, fighting him, and this guy's super strong. And the main character's power is that he's very physically strong, but he's too physically strong for his body. He can't quite control how much percentage of his power he puts into his attacks. So he will fight someone and accidentally go 100% full power on his fist, and then his whole fucking arm is ruined, right? So he's fighting this battle, and he's like constantly hurting himself, just fighting this person. He's beat the fuck up. His shit is broken, but he's still fighting with it because out of pure power. And he's telling this guy who refuses to use his power because of his mom, because he feels like that he's a disgrace to his mom if he uses his power, to use it because they're in this tournament and they're in it to win it, and you're not gonna win if you don't go 100%, because he wouldn't have won, because honestly, and this is spoilers, and I shouldn't have to tell you this because obviously I've been going down this whole entire path and what's going on. So if you're still in it, you're still in it. He could have beat him. he could have beat him. He could have beat his ass if he never told him to use the firepower. But the whole time, protagonist telling him he's firepower, telling him that his power is his, not his father. Just because he inherited his father's power doesn't mean he's gonna be the same person as his father. And then the guy started having a flashback with his mom, telling him to use his power. Then he starts using his power. And even though it kind of made me frustrated that he did that because the main character ended up losing the match, and the main character, I'm following you, my nigga. You got me into this shit, my nigga. I'm not watching season 2 for Todoroki. I'm rich in season 2 for you, green hair boy. And you just gonna go ahead and just forfeit the match like that? So I was hurt, but at the same time, I understood that he was. There's so many layers to it. As I think about it, there's so many layers to it. Okay, so the first thing I was gonna say is that he felt like if you're in a tournament, you need to give it your all, right? And that's just number one. You gotta give it your all. Don't disrespect me by not using full power, right? Second, I think the main character was reflecting it on him, like I was born into this with no powers, and you're holding back yours. I was in this bitch, like, applying for this elite hero high school with no powers, working, trying the best I could. And here you are with this already strong ass power that got you into it because you even used the other one because you hate using the other one. And you're not even going to use it. You can be the strongest one and you're not going to do it. And he finds that disrespectful. That's where I got from it, at least. That's my I got from it. And I think that's crazy. I think that's dope. Like, the character here is so well written and so realized that, I don't know, I kind of watched it and kind of got sad. Kind of like, could I ever make anything like this? At this current rate, at the rate I'm writing, no, I could not. At the current rate I'm going and making work, no, I cannot. But, like, if I were to just really hustle down and bulk and gave it all I could, like, could I ever make anything that's good? Like, that's such a phenomenon. Like, if you're not into anime, you don't know that My Hero Academia is a cultural phenomenon. And I'm like, could I ever make that? Could I ever make something so great that so many people love? I don't know. I would love to. But I don't know if I could. But the fact that I feel like the things I like are so. The things that are right, more so that I like, things that are right, are often so personal. They're not very imaginative. They're very real world. They're not superheroes. They're not fucking Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or none of that shit. They're fucking, they're regular people. Going through regular shit, and the shit's kind of dark, but I can't make a huge series off of that. Well, I'm not saying I can't, and and then that shouldn't even be the goal. But it's something to think like, damn, like there's levels of success, and I just want to get the part when I'm making the content I want to create and living off that. That's all I really care about. But how do you make a Star Wars? How do you make My Hero Academia, Attack on Titan, anything that's popular in the pop culture? Like, how do you make that? And I know there's no popular formula for that. People try to make it like it's a formula, like on page 5 you must have the inciting incident. On page 22 you must be into the max conflict, the climax of the story. And like, I don't know, but you never know what's really gonna pull people. Like, you never know. I wouldn't think a superhero anime will pull people in. Like, yeah, superheroes are hot, but like superheroes are also everywhere. And we're at the point when Arc Theory came out at the point when a lot of people were talking about experiencing superhero fatigue. Like BVS and all other shit was coming out, and a lot of people experiencing superhero fatigue when this comes out, and everyone seems to love it. But that goes into like the strong writing and the characters, things like that. But but it's one of those things that you think about, you just cannot predict. You can't predict how things are gonna be successful, what can be perceived. Like, you can have all this imagination, all this money behind it, but like, you can't just. It's crazy that you just cannot make a franchise. Franchises aren't made. Like, you can attempt right? People make franchises with things that already exist, but when was the last franchise that was just like born? That was just born. That was just made naturally and organically. Like I can't think of maybe Twilight was the last one. That was huge. And then even I want to say the Twilight, like I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'll love to make one of those one day. I'll just make one of those one day. Like it would just be cool to just be like, damn, like so many people like what I put out. Like so many people like this. You know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna lie. I feel like when I put my stuff out, I'm not sure people actually like it. I'm not really positive. Like I feel like everyone I know tells me they like it, but what the fuck else are they gonna fucking say? You know what I mean? Like they're supposed to say they like it. You know what I'm saying? Fuck you if you say you fucking don't like it. You know what I'm saying? Fuck you. But you can not like it in private. You can not like it in private, but I feel like as an artist, you always want validation. And me just being a pessimist that I am, I always feel like every time someone compliments my work, I just feel like they're just not telling the truth. I just feel like they're lying. I don't know, maybe that's why I don't know. Maybe that's why I stopped making content. I started making content for a lot of reasons. I started making films for a lot of reasons. You know what I mean? Just scared. Just scared when you think about it. You know what I'm saying? The first step is always the hardest. That's something I'm realizing ever since I'm taking more first steps. The first step is always the hardest. And I feel like, I write down a script and it will just sit there, I wouldn't push it. You know what I mean? The first step is always the hardest because I'm afraid of getting all the people together. You know what I'm saying? Sitting down, editing this video, and then realizing at the end that, it just wasn't good. But you have to make things that aren't good. Or you have to at least try to make things that are good. And, if you fail, you fail. Because, how else are you going to make something like My Hero Academia? I'm sure it came from a lot of failure. And I think that's one thing that, even My Hero Academia tell you that you have to fail. Like, that tournament, like, the main character lost. The main character lost. Like, his goal, he lost. The whole point of that season so far, he lost. Sometimes you have to fail. You can't be afraid of it. I know everyone says, I know I say it, but it's like you hear and you can't be afraid of failure, but it's hard not to be afraid, man. It's hard not to be afraid. Like, it's hard that, what if I made a short film? I told mom that, and she was like, she don't tell me she liked it, but she was like, what? She was like, damn, like, this is what you want to do? Like, I'm afraid of what people would think. Like, I'm not afraid of what people are going to say because they're not going to say it to me. I know they're going to say, be nice to me. I'm afraid of what people will think because what people will think, you don't know. And that's a psycho part of me if you think about it. Like, that's a psycho part of anyone. That's a psycho part. Anyone thinks like that. Like, you don't know what another person is thinking, but yet you obsess over it, and you will never know. You'll never know, but yet we obsess so hard what other people think. But we know what we think of ourselves, and we don't give a fuck. Like, that's crazy to me, bro. Like, I know what I think of myself. I think I'm a good artist. I think I have great ideas. Like, sometimes I think I'm egotistical about how amazing I think I am. Like, no shit. Like I don't think I'm egotistical about how amazing I truly think I am. But yet, I let the thoughts of other people that I will never hear, that I will never get to be fucking, you know what I mean? Like, I will never know. But yet, I put their thoughts that I make up so harder than mine that are actualized. Damn, dude, that's a fucking bar. Oh, dude, I'm dropping gems. I'm dropping gems. You can't say I'm not. You know what I'm saying? That's the egotistical behavior I was talking about coming out right now. But you know what I'm saying? It's what it is. I gotta call it what to call it. Shit, but fucking one thing I heard about going on though is Epic Games and Apple are going at it. What's that about? What's that about? Like, Epic, that's crazy to me. Like, and here's the thing, bro. Epic Games is so fucking smooth. Epic Games is so fucking smooth. Fucking Evil Knievel fucking finesse with that shit. Like, that shit was so fucking premeditated. I'm gonna get into it real quick. I'm not gonna, I don't like giving these long, elaborate synopses. But, I want to inform people who don't know. I want you to follow with me. You know what I'm saying? We're in it together. We're in it together. So I want you to know. So keep with me because I talk fast. Let me get a sip. Alright. So Epic Games has Fortnite. Everyone knows what Fortnite is. I know what Fortnite is. You know what Fortnite is. You know not play that shit. I don't play that shit. I think that's just for fucking children. But we know what it is. So Epic has a store in Fortnite where people can spend money. But, if you play PlayStation and Xbox, you know that in order to get that money for the game, you have to spend real money on that console's network, right? So if you have a PlayStation and you're playing Fortnite and you want V-Bucks to Fortnite's currency, you would have to go to the Fortnite menu, buy V-Bucks, when you redirect it to the PlayStation Network store to buy that V-Bucks with real money from your debit card so you can have that V-Bucks in Fortnite. So they all do it. Same way I believe with Apple, right? But I think Apple has an outrageous percentage, right? So what Fortnite decided to do is have their own market inside the game where they can just buy it in the game and not have to cut Apple anything. Apple sent them a cease and desist, and then Epic came with like a 12-page response within an hour. I think it was in an hour. I think it was instant. Like, they were ready. They were ready. That shit was written. It was pre-checked. It was spell checked. You know what I'm saying? Double spaced. You know what I'm saying? It was ready to go. We had that shit in the bunker. Come on. Fucking put that shit in a fucking can and light the bitch out. We're sending it straight to Apple headquarters. It's ready. Alright? It's ready. It's prepared. So Epic have been playing these big boss moves. Epic has been playing these big boss moves, and I can't help but to respect it. Like, I think Epic as a company just wants all the smoke. Like, Epic wants all the smoke. They want it from everyone. It's like, man, I remember when I knew Epic, back in my heyday, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna leave that nigga now. Back in my day, back in 360 days, Epic was just making games. They were just making chainsaw games. You know what I'm saying? Just chainsawing niggas. You know what I'm saying? Blowing niggas up with shotguns. That's what they was doing, but like, you know what I'm saying? They made Fortnite, made billions of dollars, and turned to a whole different company. And they want the smoke. They said, we're gonna have it our way. Right? So, they're kind of suing Apple or whatever they're doing, and I don't think the county's suing Apple. I think Apple's suing them, and their response is that it should be allowed because we're having our own store in the game, so technically we don't need Apple. So that happens, dude. I feel like that's gonna change the game. That's gonna change the game. Maybe we'll get more like fairer like things. I'm looking at my phone. I'm not gonna lie. I'm kind of track on my notes. See, this is a bad thing about me. I don't really prepare for these podcasts much. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Sometimes this is the time when I really didn't. I wrote down some topics I want to touch, and sometimes I just let it go. A lot of times I just make it broad and I just let it rip. Right? I just be talking. So for this segment, I guess you can call it. For this segment, I put Epic playing chess, suing Apple, crossplay. I'm sure in that moment I knew exactly what the fuck that meant, but right now I am at a loss. Right now I'm at a loss. So I think we just need to move on. Listen, that's the first. Listen, I like to have smooth transitions to my topics. I like to just feel normal, to just feel loose. You know what I mean? I don't want it to feel like shit is pre-rehearsed. Shit have segments. I want to improve the video version of this. Like I want to add more to it. And, that's one thing. That's another thing. But I'm not really much to being like, this segment, that segment, because I really just like this topics of this conversation that weren't even on my notes. Like I just really just wanted to feel nauseous, wanted to go, but you know, when you don't write detailed notes, you know, you're half a cup of wine in. I just told myself, I just took a second hit of the bowl. You know, what can I do? What can I do? But I want to talk about The Last Dance, man. Actually, I don't want to talk about The Last Dance because I'm gonna say that one because The Last Dance they had me on some real inspirational shit like you can do it, work hard, only you will hold yourself back, and I only did that enough. Let's just say that. Let's just say the preaching this once per podcast, please. Like sometimes I listen to podcasts and you know I love to feel pumped up. I love to feel motivated, right? You know what I'm saying? I have to put the Black Eyed Peas on, you know what I'm saying? What you gonna do with all that, huh? All that junk inside your, huh? I'm gonna get you drunk, get you love drunk up my, you know what I'm saying? That shit get the people going, get the people wild, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what that's from. However, I don't need to be fucking Gary Vee every fucking video. I don't need to be fucking Joe Rogan every video, fucking telling you to work out, telling you to do all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna mention what I need to do for myself. I might say you, but honestly, I have an LTD screen that's looking right at me. I'm talking to myself. This whole shit, I'm just talking to myself. But if it applies to you, then it applies to you. You know what I'm saying? We're on this journey together, us as a team. But I don't want to just keep on being like fucking just hounding about working. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm already I guess I'm doing my part. You know, so I got the podcast going. I'm gonna edit it. Shit, I might edit it tonight. Because some shit I want to do to it. Hopefully you guys like it. There's some shit I want to do to it. I want to make it real nice. You know what I'm saying? So who knows? This episode might be late. What's today? Today's Tuesday. If I work hard on it, maybe not. If I really grind, it can be out Thursday. So, if it's not out by Thursday, what does that tell you? That's not entirely true. But if it's not out Thursday, what does that tell you? You know what I'm saying? Just, I ain't grind on it. But hopefully it's out Thursday. I have tonight. Out tomorrow. I want to just edit it down and get it. And, I want to really put more effort into podcasts. I feel like I just kind of just go through the podcast and just cut it up and just make it like most people's podcasts. Just really just them, camera. But I want to do something more. I want to make this like a show. It's like a show. Should I be saying stuff like that? Like, does that make it less mysterious? That I'm telling you what I want to do with it, like instead of just doing it and just improving it, like just being like a mystery, like. Should I just keep shit like that to myself? Like, I don't know. I just like to communicate. I like to say to you guys what's going on. Like, I don't say you guys, but maybe I just like to talk. It's only me here. You know what I'm saying? This is kind of like, I don't want to say this early because I was thinking about it before. I want to say, like, these are, like, my therapy sessions, but, like, and I thought that would be corny because everyone says it. But I kind of feel like it is, like, low-key to a degree. Like, I'm not getting too deep on here. I'm not talking about a relationship or nothing like that. I'm not talking about, like, my family issues or nothing like that. But, well, well, I kind of do, but I don't get that too deep into it. But, but in a way, this is my therapy. I feel like just by talking it out and hearing myself and in a way having conversations with myself, I'm able to understand myself more. I feel like I always walk away from it with an appreciation of myself more. I'm like, damn, nigga, cool as fuck. I'm like, that nigga cool as fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? He should really be doing his thing. And I do my thing. You know what I'm saying? I go harder at it. And, if you made it this far in the podcast, honestly, like, if you truly made it this far in the podcast, please comment. Like, I know you don't have to comment, but if you made it this far in the podcast, please comment. I want to see. And I see they have views on the videos. I think I need to advertise the videos more on social media and really push them. I really have some good clips I can drop on it, and make people watch the videos. I don't expect that many people to watch that many podcasts, especially not this far in. Like, how far are we into this podcast right now? Damn, we 54 minutes in. We're 54 minutes into the podcast. 54 minutes into the podcast. So I don't expect you want to get this far. But if you got this far, man, I really appreciate it. Like, I don't know who's listening. Hopefully some people are listening. My goal is to get more listeners. I want more viewers. I want people to check me out, check out what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, I think big stuff will be coming soon. I think big stuff gonna be coming too. Like, I've been a slacker for all my life. I just slid through everything. I cheated in every class. Not every class, but I did do a lot of my classes that I just didn't want to give a fuck about. I, you know, slid through, you know, a lot of opportunities just based off me and my personality. I was able to, you know, I don't want to be egotistical again, but you know, I'm a pretty cool guy. Like, I'm able to talk to pretty much anybody. If I really want to put an effort with you, I'm really able to talk to pretty much anybody. So I feel like I really slid through off my personality. I don't know what's going with that. I don't know what's going on. They are reaching in the edit, but I don't know. I'm gonna just go on what I think I was going with that. I feel like I slid through my personality, and you know, this is something I really want to work hard at. This being the podcast, and yeah, okay, I'm on track. Me being a podcast, and you know, me making videos, like I haven't made an actual video in a minute. Like, I'm not saying I make videos, but it's the only video I make, and it's the easiest shit to make. I need to do it, man. I need to do it. I need to do it soon. Like, I want to be like, I want to do it tomorrow, but Brianna's gonna be with me tomorrow, and I think she wants to just run the house, but I need to make it happen, man. I need to do it. I need to do it. I don't want to say I want to get preachy, but this is legit for me. I need to do it. Because I have so many ideas. So many things I want to do. So many things I want to accomplish. So many, not just movies, not just scripts, but like videos that'd be cool for YouTube, videos that'd be cool for Instagram, like videos, ideas for my Twitch. Like, I just feel like I have so many ideas, just not the motivation to do them. Not the push, the drive to make it happen. I need to get it. I don't want to be like this, man. Like, I don't want to get emotional. Like, I'm not gonna cry or nothing. I'm not gonna cry or nothing, but like, you know, I've had a YouTube channel for like 3 years, and I think I have like maybe like 10 videos. It's not nothing, man. I need to be working. I need to be getting at it. I need to be going after it. Even after my last video, like, what did I do after that? This? Of course, I mean, like, last time, but I'll be honest, it was kind of busy. Like, but you need to stop giving excuses like that. You need to have an excuse like that. Well, I was kind of busy. I need to make it happen. At least one video? I need to make it happen, man. All my life I made excuses to why I couldn't do this, for why I couldn't make that happen, for, you know, where I'm at, where my grades were the way they were, why I don't have a girlfriend, why I don't have a fucking this, why I don't have a fucking that, why I'm not in shape, why I'm not eating healthy, why I'm not fucking... I have an excuse for fucking everything in this fucking world. But I can't make any more excuses about this, man. And I don't want to just say this because the camera's on me and fucking I have to say, like, I just have to do it because I need to, because fuck, bro. Where would I be at if I was making videos consistently since I got a camera? Like, where would I be at? That was like 4 years ago. Where would I be at if I consistently made videos? And where would I be at if today, after I turn this camera off, I don't make anything? And then 5 years pass again. And then look back at myself. And I'm like, where would I be at if I would have worked on videos like I said I would? And I mean, I'm 24. I know I'm not old. I know I'm still young. But it feels like time is passing me by. Like, I just turned 24 October 10th. I don't feel like time is passing me by. I need to get after it. And you need to get after it too. Like, people watching this video, like, you need to get after it too. Like, I know I said I wanted to preach. I know I said I didn't want to preach, but like, it's really just hitting me, man. As I'm hearing myself say it, I'm talking, I'm seeing it. Like, I'm seeing it in my face right now. I'm looking at myself. Gotta get after it. I work at Forever 21. and I don't like working there. I used to, but I don't like working there no more. I you know, at first it was fun with people who I worked with. But as I got older, I just got more jaded towards it. The customers, upper management, people treated you, people made assumptions about you, people you work with, the fakeness, and then having to go in and work with somebody else that doesn't give a fuck about you while you're going home and watching TV and not doing anything for yourself. I can't do that anymore, man. I need to be doing this. Not necessarily, you know what I'm saying, getting paid and talking in front of the camera, which I'm not going to keep on doing this. This is probably my second time drinking on camera. I think I'm going to take a break from drinking on camera and, you know, smoking weed on camera. But, you know, later on down the line, you know, I'm going to say we might get a little crazy. But right now we're just talking, man. And at the end of the day, I really have to push myself. So, I mean, like, maybe I feel so open towards the end of these videos. I feel like at the end of these videos, I always kind of just let out everything that I'm feeling. You know what I mean? I'm supposed to have, you know, like, this part of the segment and this part. I feel like I try to have, like, the part about me at the beginning of the video. But I feel like towards the end, make I feel like no one's watching it. I just let go. I just let loose. But yeah, man. I think it's been a good podcast. We're about an hour. We're about like an hour in. So like if you made it, like I really appreciated that. You know, you made it to the end. You made it to the end. Tell me. You know, if you didn't make it to the end, I won't be mad. You know what I'm saying? But you know, tell me. I really appreciate it because I want to know who's out there listening to me. If there's anyone out there, you know. Even if there's not, you know, I'm keep on doing this thing. You know, eventually I'm gonna get listeners. You know, eventually I'm gonna not, and you know, I won't say eventually I'm start posting videos. If people watch my videos, gonna watch these videos. I'm gonna listen to this podcast, and they're gonna come to my Twitch, and you know, that's the plan. That's the plan. I feel like I'm gonna edit this and feel really fucking cringy. I feel like I'm gonna edit this and think I'm fucking a simp. Think I'm fucking, you know, and I can't even talk. So I feel like it's a good time to end the podcast. But who knows, man? Let me check my notes. What does anyone want to talk about? I mean, I'm gonna talk about gaming. Talk about a lot of movies and stuff. Man, I don't know. I don't want to get into this and then it just be so half-assed and like you know what I mean? Yeah, so half-assed and I should just ended it right here, just ended it strong. But you know, I'm a fucking soldier. Whew. Alright, these are gonna be the fun last 20 minutes of this podcast. Whew. Let me get myself together. That was a lot. If I hold it together and y'all still watching it, y'all gotta comment, bro. Y'all gotta comment, like for real. Y'all gotta comment, cause you know what I'm saying? We're all here. So anyway, let's talk about some gaming stuff. So the other day I was going through going through an old video game magazine. I don't know how I found it. I was going through an old video game magazine. And I was just teleported to like a time where I feel like kids today just don't have it. Like licensed games. And I know it seems so like bullshit, but like, come on, like every game was licensed. Every anime that was popular, every fucking TV show that was popular had a fucking game attached to it. And okay, it was dope. Like yes, like come on, follow me, stay with me. Like yeah, okay. So if you're from the generation, if you're from like around my age, you know a lot of those games were fucking horrible. A lot of those movie games, a lot of those fucking TV show games, anime games, a lot of them were horrible. But you cannot fucking tell me as a kid you weren't loving that fact that you could be fucking Inuyasha. Fucking Yasha. Like, kids these days only have games for shit that's fucking the most popular because everything needs to be a fucking AAA game. Everything needs to be fucking $100 million budget game. Back when we were growing up, dude, if you're like my age, like between the age of like let's say like fucking 24 to fucking at least 21, like you know about all like these cheap ass games they used to have. All these cheap games they used to have that like cost like like they probably cost them like $30,000 to make. You know what I mean? All they need to license was a couple sprites and you were having fun with it. Like you're playing Dragon Ball Z games because Dragon Ball Z is I shouldn't count Dragon Ball Z because Dragon Ball Z is obviously the top tier anime, but like you having Dragon Ball Z games on a Game Boy that play like Pokemon games because it was cheap. You know what I'm saying? We accepted that because that was fun. You know what I'm saying? Like, but you still felt like you were Goku. You still felt like you're part of that fucking that mythos, right? Let's again. They had a Bleach game. That's another popular game. But they had a fucking Yu Yu Hakusho game. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but the one that fucking he's in a tournament and he has this fucking thing. It's a fucking gun and shit. Like he had a game for him, and I wanted it so bad because I wanted to fucking interact with that world in a tangible way. Like kids don't have that. Kids don't have that because games these days have to be so expensive, and it has to be a built-in audience for these games so they can play it, man. And I feel like I'm slowly starting to see myself being like the old guy. That's how like back in my day, like we're getting to that point because we're able to see the changes. Able to see the changes in the industry, and like not all of it is positive, not all of it is negative. But the negatives are starting to remind us the most. Like obviously, there's been a lot of positive with the gaming industry. There's been tons of positives. Like come on, like think about just like something simple as like fucking black hairstyles. Like come on, like it wasn't recently. It wasn't that long ago, I should say. Or like, if you play a game, you had to carry a black character. You either had bald head, short buzz cut, afro, or big afro. Those are your 4 hairstyles, right? And if you're playing a Bioware game, let's say Dragon Age, and if you were elf, you can even be dark skinned. You can even be dark skinned, which at the time I got, and I still kind of get. I'm not gonna lie, but you couldn't even do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then honestly, if you wanted to create a black character, it will start looking like 3 people, right? It will start looking like 3 people. It will either start looking like the black nigga in Recess. It will start looking like Samuel L. Jackson, or it'll look like less attractive Will Smith. Really pay attention to it. I promise you, those are the 3 things they will look like. If you're making a truly black character, that's all they look like. And you know that because when they have black characters in the game, the ones that they create, that's all they look like. But that's neither here or there. We're in a, there's been a lot of positives with it, but the negatives you gotta like to see. Okay, so my battery just died, so I'm gonna go ahead and call it a day. Thank you for watching Party Cop Pasta.